happened just yesterday.
Welcome to We Can Rant, where we can rant. And this is... Who am I?
Oh, I don't know. You're having an identity crisis right now.
This is Andrew.
That's Andrew. I'm Kevin. Again, we're both from We Can Rant, where we can rant, and welcome back, guys. We're doing a spoiler-full review of the Justice League War.
We did it at the same time.
Right here.
All right, right there.
That's why we're partners in this.
We're doing the couldn't find anyone else.
I think it's either that or the cats. It's either you or cats. So we're back on this rant about Justice League War.
We're not going to rant because we both enjoyed this movie, so...
I think you're confusing me with either the cats or another Asian that you do podcasts with, Andrew. Because this movie does not do justice. I'm sorry. I'm doing it again.
Alright, so... Now we can
Justice League.
So now we can get into the spoilers. So this movie has the formation of the Justice League.
Yes.
Where they're being invaded. Come on, what can go wrong? What didn't you like?
Okay, I didn't have a problem with the fact that Darkseid was the main villain and we have an invasion movie. Mm-hmm. By the way, it's not that original. I'm gonna be honest with you. No. It's another alien trying to terraform our planet. Like everybody loves Earth, man. I think there's like an alien out there that's like advertising Earth. You know, like a salesman, like a car, like a weird alien car salesman. It's like, come to Earth. It's habitable planet. There's only these weak ass aliens and also superhuman beings that might get in your way. But yeah, like the main story of Darkseid coming to Earth and terraforming the planet. Also, he's kidnapping people, which I thought was kind of cool. Like, he kidnaps people and he turns them into parademons.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was.
That wasn't original. He
builds his own army.
But it was okay. It's like serviceable. And one thing that they wanted to do was get Superman and make him into like a mega parademon, like a super parademon, which I kind of wanted to see.
That would to see him transform into that.
Yeah,
that would have been cool.
Because everybody else who transformed, who got into the little blue vein whatever things, they turn into parademons.
Right.
But I just wondered what Superman's parademon form would have looked like.
A Kryptonian one. Yeah, I thought it would have been cool, but I really did like.
It probably would have like really good neck snapping abilities.
We're not bringing up Zack Snyder.
We did it again.
He's going to really hate us.
We should tweet this review at him.
But, you know what? This movie had a moment for everyone to shine, and you brought up Batman's moment where he went to save Superman from turning into a parademon. He brought him back. Come on, you can give a little credit there. Was that good?
I mean, that was an action sequence. You know, that was actually
But it gave him a moment to shine. Everyone had a moment to shine. Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Flash, Cyborg, Superman. Come on.
For better or for worse, yes, you're absolutely right. They all, and for worse.
More often worse.
Definitely for worse.
Right.
The person that we follow the most in this movie, unfortunately, is Green Lantern, which is by far the worst character in this movie. And that's really sad for me to say because I actually like Green Lantern. I mean, did you see that live action movie? It was amazing.
Exactly.
Ryan Reynolds kills it.
Better than that
CG
in Deadpool.
Costume.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. No, but on a serious note, Green Lantern is one of my favorite characters in the DC universe because he's like a police...
he's a galactic police.
He's a galactic police officer basically,
right.
And he's worked on a team before, and he's gotten training from the Green Lantern Corps to basically be a leader, right? And he patrols that sector, which is including Earth. In this movie, we get the stupidest Green Lantern I have ever seen.
He was amateur, yeah.
Really dumb, makes a lot of mistakes, doesn't know how to work as a team. His dialogue and his quips are really bad. He comes off more as annoying than funny. I think that the writing was meant to make him more like the smart ass kind of likable charming character, like an asshole, but like charming. But I just saw him as an asshole the entire movie.
Right, he really was. No, I agree. I felt like he was probably the most that was out of character.
Name a scene right now where he didn't act brashly or idiotically. You can't.
No, there wasn't a scene like that. Yeah.
He literally tries to fight Darkseid by himself.
Right.
And each time he does, like throughout the entire movie, where he tries to prove to himself and to everybody else that he's such a badass, he fails miserably.
Yeah,
it's like he doesn't learn.
No. And then it took Batman to kind of like pull him to the side and straighten him out. And even then, it was I agree with you. But remember, this is when they're first meeting Darkseid, so they don't know.
But it's not the first time they've been superheroes.
No, I agree. I'm just saying because you said that Green Lantern went after Darkseid. It's like, why would he do that? But he didn't know.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I think all of them were out of character, not just him. Superman was like,
oh my god,
weirdly like violent, and this is someone that makes apologetics for Superman's violence in the Snyder films.
Yeah.
So when I'm saying that, like when he was fighting Green Lantern and
even when he was fighting, Batman too.
Yeah, I was like, holy crap! Like he wasn't even giving them a chance to really explain themselves. So I thought that was kind of weird.
Right.
Like
I said, these characters act really brashly.
Yeah, and then let's Wonder Woman. She was, in my opinion, she was one of the worst. I know you think Green Lantern.
Talk more about that fight though, because I agree with you 100%. That fight really, honestly, probably shouldn't have happened.
No, they should have just spoke.
It's basically on pars of Batman v Superman. And Clark Kent fighting Bruce Wayne.
It felt like they needed an excuse. I don't know why they feel like for this group to meet, they have to fight each other first, like Mortal Kombat or something.
Right.
Like
because Avengers did it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, that's probably why they're trying to do it. But after a while.
But their rationale in Avengers makes a lot more sense than even this animated movie.
I agree. There was no reason for Superman. I mean, well, never mind. I take it back. There was a little bit because remember the plot of this box. Yeah, the plot of this movie was that the parademons were planting bombs, but really they're portals to Apocalypse, not the mutant, all over the planet. And they were dressed kind of like Batman. Remember, we even brought up that in the movie, a lot of people think, is this the vigilante Batman doing this or something? So maybe Superman would be suspicious and want to fight them. But after a while, that fight kind of dragged out, and even Batman tried to explain to him, like, we're not your enemy, and he still kind of fought. Yeah, I agree. It was just bad.
Yeah. Bad is an understatement, in my opinion, because there's a point, and we're in spoilers, so we're full range to talk about this. There's a point where Superman chokes Batman and tries to, like, get information. But you're fucking choking him, you idiot. Like, a Superman...
And Batman even says that when he's like, answer this question, like, I'm trying to.
Right. There's no logic in any of these characters in the way they act. Or even talk. Okay, so we talked about this a little bit before we did the review, but you mentioned it, Wonder Woman. I felt like her performance was super stilted and very robotic.
It was horrible.
Tell me about terrible. It. And you compared it to something that was better, but not as good in this movie. Go ahead.
Well, it makes sense, but she's in the other world. She is pretty much Thor in this movie. She's not Wonder Woman at all in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
She threatens like civilians.
Yeah.
She acts completely like
out of character.
Well, not just that, but just completely like foreign. Like she doesn't know like, oh, like what is this like ice cream and all this stuff. Like hasn't she been on this planet for like since World War One? So it just she seemed like
even then she is a diplomatic envoy, right? For Themyscira,
the Amazons.
And then the United States. So, in that sense, there's a scene where she leaves the White House because she was tired of waiting for the president.
Right.
Like, she wouldn't do that. I know we're talking this really seriously about a fucking cartoon.
Right.
But we're talking. But this adds to her character, right? So she's impatient.
I think I agree with you. And violent
and you compared it to a child. That's the perfect word.
She does. But I think the reason we're taking this so out of character is because we've seen so many superior animated films where they're still in character.
Right.
We just reviewed Flashpoint Paradox, and an alternate Wonder. That Wonder Woman was more
Yes,
in character,
yes.
and she was like supposed to be an alternate bad version of herself. So this one was really, in my opinion, she was worse than Green Lantern. But I think I understand why. But Green Lantern was the focus, so it
Yeah.
hurt more that he was. So
We spent a lot of time with Green Lantern,
Yeah.
which wasn't necessary, and I didn't like that at all. Let's talk about one more thing. Let's talk about the iteration and the addition of Cyborg in replace of the original origins, which is Martian Manhunter. Tell me what you think about that, because I have fucking so many things to say.
Okay, well, I've been dying to see an animated DC film with Martian Manhunter, so I was a little disappointed. But on the other hand, I don't know much about Cyborg, so I was excited to learn about a new character.
Yeah.
Or he's new for me.
I understand that, and then you were promptly disappointed.
Right. Well, I was very confused because
Okay.
I thought, from what my understanding was, is that his father experimented on him with like weird technology. But in this, it looks like the father was just trying to keep him alive, and then like the machine turned like into like T-1000 liquid metal and like reformed him. So it didn't really have anything to do with the father. So I didn't get that, but I thought his character was okay.
So, okay, what do you think about his daddy issues? Were they weird as shit, or were they weird as shit? Because I don't know
So between those two
a person
options.
anywhere that would be that upset, and then also in the midst of their, I guess, upset, like their feelings or whatever, in the midst of their feelings, they grab an alien technology.
Yeah, that was stupid. But I guess
So
he
it's
was
just
emotional.
stupid.
He was emotional.
Yeah, in the midst of them being super emotional,
I
he
like-
grabs alien technology. He's like, "You love this more than you love me," and that's what happens in the movie, and that's what causes the catastrophe of him, the mother box
Injured.
opening
Right.
and blasting his face off, and basically destroying
His
his
body,
body, and that's why his father has to incorporate this alien technology, which in turns turns him into Cyborg, which we all know. That's dumb. Why would he, even as a person who's emotional, have this alien technology out of nowhere?
Yeah, that part was stupid. I
And the
agree.
whole daddy issue thing was really bad too, man. Like, it didn't build up or anything. I think it would have been a lot better if it was an accident, like he was walking past it or something like that, or he was ranting right next to his father, and then that happened. It exploded, or the mother box opened, and so he was scarred from it.
Portal, yeah.
But the fact that he grabbed it himself, this
was stupid.
clearly alien technology. And by the way, one more thing. Okay, so I'm in full rant mode right now. Okay, so fuck this. Look, his dad is a scientist, right? And he makes at Star Labs, and he makes the best point in this movie. He makes the most rational thing in this movie. He's like, you know what's important right now? Not your goddamn fucking football game.
I agree.
This alien technology that we just found that might change the
Humanity, yeah.
humanity, the fabric of our what we know to exist in the world. It has so many great implications. We don't have time to watch you throw a fucking football around, you
Right.
idiot. Like I felt
I
more
felt
emotion.
more sympathy for the father. I agree with you 100%.
I felt more emotion for his father. I understood his father's logic more than I understood
The son's
Cyborg's
emotion.
logic. Yeah.
Yeah, it was logic versus emotion. So even though the father was pretty cruel when he's like, "There's like metahumans and aliens and all this," and, like,
Yeah.
and you think that what you do like
Yes.
ranks to them, like no, it doesn't. Which is kind of
Yeah,
cruel,
yeah.
but-
Even he's like, "Will you ever come to my games?" He's like, "No,
No.
no." Did you not hear? I just said there's aliens around us,
Yeah.
man. I have one. It's right here. Don't touch it. Don't touch this.
right.
It's from another planet. We don't know what it does. That's why I'm experimenting with it, because we want to know what it. Please don't touch it.
and then he grabs it.
Yeah. See, that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
I agree. That
like,
part was dumb, but I thought the father-son dynamic was kind of good, just because I kind of understand, like, wow, that must hurt
Okay.
that your father's career is like. He even openly bluntly said, like, I'm not going to your shitty game.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm like,
gonna,
if
that
I was
has to hurt.
if I was him, I would have been like, cool. That makes a lot of sense, Dad.
Exactly.
It looks like you're doing more important things right
Right.
now. And he also said too, he's like, I might get a full scholarship or whatever. And it's like, and his dad's like, so like,
yeah,
you don't really have to work,
I have
man.
a portal to another
Yeah,
world.
right? We found this. You know that, right? It's from space. Like,
Right.
there really needs to be nothing else said about.
But I think
there's
that's-
the dynamic. Look, the idea for that dynamic, I'll give you that. That the idea for it was good. It just wasn't executed.
Right. Well,
it wasn't executed in a way that meant anything to me.
This movie's entire problem was execution. So
yes,
it's supposed to be a quick, like the main focus is bringing together the Justice League.
Right.
Period.
Right.
And then it did that, but the execution was really poor. Now let me ask you, since you brought up Cyborg and its origin, do you think there should have been origins of each one, or how this movie did it, where it just threw you into the world? Look, these heroes exist. Get over it. Now watch them. Do you like that, or?
I mean, we get Cyborg's origin, which
but it at least
felt like
fit.
that. What?
It at least fit the plot that it had connection to the invasion.
Okay, so I get what you're saying, and yes, I agree with you.
I get what you're saying, but here's why you're wrong.
No, you're right. You're right. No, I get what you're saying. You're right, and that actually, you're making a big point, because if they would have spent more time with the other characters, I would have hated this movie a lot more.
Right. Okay.
Like,
so you agree?
If it was good characters, hell yeah, I would love to see more Hal Jordan, and I would love to see more maybe Wonder Woman and Themyscira, and then doing her Wonder Woman stuff, and then coming to America and meeting the president, probably Obama, meeting Obama, and probably not wanting to wait for him or whatever she does, right?
Right.
But instead, we get these unlikable characters.
Right.
I really would have hated this movie a lot more if we spent any more time with Hal Jordan. We do get a little bit of Shazam though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you like that?
No, he had a lot of bad lines.
He had a lot
of
terrible lines.
And you mentioned earlier pop culture reference. I can't remember them, but he said some stuff that it's like, I don't know how I feel like when like fantasy universes are sci-fi.
Well, he mentioned World of Warcraft.
That's what it was, where he's like, whatever your World of Warcraft name is or something. I was like, oh, and also Green Lantern mentioned when he's first meeting Batman, it's like, why are you in such a bad mood? You didn't have your true blood or something.
Oh my god, and he brings up TMZ. I'm like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, all these stuff. There's too many pop culture references. No, and I agree with you.
This movie, this is why I equate this to a Zack Snyder type movie.
Right.
And this is funny because it's actually directed by the same person who directed Flashpoint Paradox.
What?
Oliver Lee.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's so weird. The quality is like
vastly different.
Yeah, day and night. Whoa.
I'm gonna double check it, but yes. And this movie stems from what the problem with Zack Snyder's Batman v Superman, or even Man of Steel, where it tries really hard to be cool, and it fails on so many levels.
Right.
And he needs to understand that what makes these characters aren't their pop culture references.
Right.
What makes these characters are their morality and their relatability.
Right. Well, now, we didn't really touch on this, but what do you think about the villain? I know you like Darkseid, but what about his depiction here? It was pretty straightforward.
Yeah, he's a tank character, so his character really just needs to be big and like a behemoth, and imposing, like semi-unstoppable force. Yeah, they don't even really kill him in this movie. They just put him back into
they throw him back to Apocalypse.
Mother box, and send him back to Apocalypse. Basically, is what he does.
Right. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Jay Oliver. I apologize, everybody. Jay Oliver was the director.
I think it's Jay Olivia, but...
Oh, I'm sorry, yes. Oh my god, what is wrong with me?
It's this
Jay
movie.
Olivia, yeah.
This movie has him kind of riled up. But, yeah, I thought I was going to say, like, wow, this cannot be like Flashpoint Paradox. This movie is... It's not like the worst of the worst, but when you have it compared to, like, the superior other animated DC films, they are so much better, leagues better than this. So I completely agree with you.
Yeah, see, so he also did The Dark Knight Returns Part 1.
What?
Another one of our favorites.
Which is good.
Another one of our favorites.
Yes. Yeah. That's crazy.
He was
maybe
part of, which is Green Lantern's First Flight is one of my also favorite. This is why if you want a good interpretation of Green Lantern, then First Flight is actually a really good one. Or the other DC animated Justice League movies, Crisis on Two Earths. I think, what else is there? Oh, there's the Emerald Knight is really good too. You haven't seen that one, but yeah, Emerald Knight was really good. So there's that. So there are so many different animated movies and depictions of these characters that are way better than this movie.
Right. Well, everyone has a miss.
Okay,
he has a lot of hits. He has a couple of misses.
So you didn't like Shazam. But how do you feel about Darkseid? Do you think
he was? I agree with you. He played his role well. He was just supposed to be like a tank character. We didn't really get much about him. We just know that he's trying to terraform the world and build this giant parademon army. Right. So we don't really find out like a little bit of his background. Like I said, this story is really simplistic. Really, really. So we just know, hey, he's a bad guy. He wants to invade the world at the end. So let's unite and beat him. So I thought it was, for being straightforward, it did what it was meant to. So I was okay with him.
I don't like also the fact that even after there was a scene in the movie where Batman has a little pep talk with Green Lantern.
Yes.
And even after that scene, you're like, okay, this is where he's gonna finally. By the way, Green Lantern is from a team of police, Galactic Police, right?
Right.
So he already knows how to play on a team, but he doesn't in this one.
Yeah.
So even after the pep talk from Batman, he still is like an idiot and asshole. Like
that never changes.
I don't know why they wrote him like this. Like it's very confusing.
I think they tried really hard to make him like what you said earlier. He's supposed to be like the charming comedic relief who's kind of a jerk, but they only made him a jerk. They forgot the charming part. Yeah. And he didn't have any arc. It'd be one thing if he started off as kind of like sarcastic in an asshole-ish way, but then towards the end he realizes, hey, I like this team. Right. I realize what my failings were. He doesn't realize what his failings were at any point in this movie. It just ends the same way. He's the same character. So
from beginning to end, there's no arc, really. Yeah, you're right.
None. So
there's really no arc for anybody in this movie.
No.
And just one, I guess we can. Are you done? Do you have any more gripes, or do you have anything that you want to defend? I will shoot those motherfuckers down.
You sure will. I know you will. I was just gonna say I think this movie is
40% Rotten Tomatoes.
Ooh. Well, I guess you have an agreeing following. Well, what's the last thing that you wanted to vent about?
Well, I just want to say that Alan Tudyk plays Superman, correct? So he did a good job. Everybody did, except for I think Wonder Woman, which was really acting. Stilted. Yeah, the voice acting was well done, so that's a little bit of a positive right there.
Right.
The action sequences, like I said, was well done. Alan Tudyk playing Superman,
he did good, but Superman was
like
barely
a bloodthirsty Superman. Like he'll fight for no reason.
Yeah, he sure was. But I think. We didn't get the awesome Kevin Conrad here.
Conroy, I'm
sorry. Yeah, Conroy. Because it was Jason O'Mara.
Olivia.
Oh, yeah.
So it's all good.
Right. Oh, yeah, we both made that mistake. So, yeah, I don't know. You're right. The voice acting didn't stand out like it did in the other ones.
Yes.
And to make matters worse, the dialogue made the mediocre voice acting take it down.
Yeah, it's a huge notch, actually.
Yeah. So, like I said, overall, I thought this was okay. There's no Aquaman, there's no Martian Manhunter, but we're starting simple here. So, I thought for what it's supposed to be, don't think of anything else. Let's say this
I'm judging this movie on just the movie by itself without knowing these characters. I would hate these characters. I would not enjoy this movie as a person coming from a non-fan base, a non-DC fan base.
What if you didn't have the other DC animated films to compare it with? Would you still be like, this is crap?
I would not think this movie is pure crap.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like, it's not crap because of the animation. It's not crap because, the voice acting is not... It's back and forth, in my opinion. But it's crap because the characters are annoying, regardless of whether or not they're pre-established characters that we know and love. The motives are stupid. Oh, one more thing. Batman tries to interrogate a parademon who can breathe fire. He talks about this. He's like, there's this thing breathes fire, and he goes and sticks his fucking face right into his, and tries to interrogate him in his face. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, he's a detective. He's smarter than this.
You're smarter than this, Batman.
He's smarter than this. Like, every character is supposed to be way smarter than how they're portrayed in this one.
Right.
This movie really hurts from the writing. It really hurts from these characters trying to be cool when they're not, just be characters.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you wouldn't recommend it? I already know.
Oh my god. Should we go back to my rating?
No.
10 out of 1 million, I think, or 10 million.
Well, I'll say this. Let me close it off with this. Okay. Try it.
Fine.
Try it.
It's free if you can watch it.
Yeah, if you can watch it for free, try it. If you're at least a nominal superhero fan, watch it. You get at least a couple cool fights. What about the fighting? You always talk about fighting.
Yeah, the fighting was good.
Okay, well there you go. We got at least some good fighting to watch. But if you know what, just go watch Flashpoint Paradox. Never mind.
You know what? What movie was really good with the choreography and the choreography, and but not with there's a lot of style but not substance.
This was the animated BVS.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Thank you for being on board.
I agree with you.
I was watching this movie and I was like, did Zack Snyder direct this? Like, I couldn't believe that it was the same person who directed all my other favorites.
Right. Yeah.
It's surprising. But anyways, guys, I would say you guys can do without this movie. That's my final verdict, and you know that. Just watch if you've listened to our non-spoiler reviews. I stick by that. Andrew did a terrible job convincing me this movie was nothing but garbage.
Listen. Alright,
and I probably convinced him that it was
did.
a lot worse. I took it down like a couple of notches, you have to admit.
Yes, I'm not going to go against you in a court of law. Let's just put it that way.
Okay, cool. Alright, guys, I think we're signing off. We're at a 26-minute runtime, so we should be signing off on spoilers right now. Anything else you need to say? Any?
Nope. Have a good one, people.
Alright, guys,
Thanks
that's
for joining
it.
us.
Thanks for joining us again for We Can Rant, where We Can Rant spoiler full review. Stick around because we are going to do more DC animated movies.
Yes.
What would you like to see on the next one?
Killing Joke.
Oh, but there's a lot more time before the Killing Joke.
So alright.
Let's do Throne of Atlantis.
Emerald.
You want to do
Knight?
the Emerald Knight? We'll do a good one and we'll do a bad one.
Okay.
Which is Throne of Atlantis. Anyways, alright guys, thanks again. Signing off. This has been Kevin.
And this is Andrew, and the link is right here in the description
below.
below.
Oh, you son of a bitch. Alright.
Bye.
Bye.